Okay, so we're going to be looking at probability questions from NAPLAN tests on Daniel G teaching. Let's see how we go. Sarah rolls a standard 6-sided dice once. Which one of these is Sarah most likely to roll? So let's go change it to a pen, that way I can write. So the different options on a 6-sided die can be a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, or a 6. They're all the different options. And whenever we're looking at probability, we should always be looking at how many total options are there and how many options will fulfill the criteria of a certain event happening. So standard 6-sided die, there's all our options. So we've got 6 options, which means for all of these we should end up having fractions out of 6, which we could later convert into percentages if we wanted to. So if we look at a number greater than 4, what numbers on a die are greater than 4? 5 is greater than 4. 6 is greater than 4. So there are our 2 options, 5 and 6. So out of the 6 total options that we have available, 2 of them will fulfill the criteria. So we'll call that 2 out of 6. We'll just leave things out of 6 and we'll make it a little bit easier. There's the answer for the first part, or our first option, what the fraction is, the probability. What about a number less than 5? We'll put that over here. The numbers that are less than 5, 4 is less than 5, 3 is less than 5, 2 is less than 5, 1 is less than 5. So that means that there's how many different options? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 different options. So we call that 4 options that fit the criteria out of 6 total options. There's 6 different numbers it could be, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. And 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all smaller than 5. So there's 4 options out of 6. Next, it's saying an odd number. What are our odd numbers? Obviously, they're not our even numbers. So they're ones that we can't divide by 2 evenly. So that's 1, 3, and 5, which is 3 different numbers. 1, 2, 3. So out of the 6 different numbers that a regular 6-sided die could be rolled to, 3 of those options are the ones that fulfill the criteria. So over here, we'll put in 3 out of 6. Last one, the number 6. The only number that will fulfill the criteria of being number 6 is, of course, number 6, which means it's only one option. So it's only one option out of 6. So which of these is most likely to occur then? Well, it has to be the one that has the greatest probability, the greatest chance of happening. So if I roll a die 6 times, this bottom one is saying it expects 1 time out of 6 for the number 6 to show up. And that makes sense. 1 time of 6, 1 time of 5, 1 time of 4, 1 time of 3, 1 time of 2, 1 time of 1. That makes sense. That only happens once. This one will happen 3 times out of 6. This time will happen 2 times out of 6. This is the biggest one, the most likely. 4 times out of 6, we expect to see a number that is less than 5. So that is the answer. There are 12 apples and 7 pears in a bowl. About what percentage of the fruit in the bowl is pears? So this can be worked out with short division exactly. So we'll give that a go. So first up, we have to look at how many total options there are. If there are 12 apples and there are 7 pears, we just need to add the 2 together, and that will get us the total amount of fruit in the bowl, 19. And we want to figure out what are the chances of us getting a pear out of those 19 fruit. And we already have been told there are 7 pairs. So that means we are trying to convert the fraction 7 over 19 into a percentage. And that will get us our answer. Now, the way that we do this will be as follows. We'll go 19, 7. Looks a bit strange. Looks like we're doing it the opposite way to how you would normally do it. But trust me, this will get us the answer we want. 19 into 7, it won't go. Then we have our decimal place. But now we go 19 into 70. 19 once, we'll get 19. 19 twice, we'll get 38. It's a bit hard to do threes. 38. Maybe if I do like this, we'll like it better. 38. And then if you add another 19, you get 57. If you add another 19, it'll be too much. So it can fit 3 times. Well, then that worked, time my 3 worked. And there'll be how much remainder? From 57 to 70, it'll be 13 to get to 70. So that's 13 remainders. So then we put a 13 above that 0. Then the next part over here will be how many times does 19 fit into 130? So 19 into 130, we do the same again. 1 19 is 19, 2 19s are 38, 3 19s are 57, another 19. It's really just like adding 20 and take 1. So 57 plus 20 is 77, take 1 is 76. Plus 20 is 96, take 1 is 95. Plus 20 is 115, take 1 is 114. And we're trying to get to 130. So if we add 19 to that, it will be too big. So that's 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, 5 time, 6 time. So it can fit in 6 times. And how many remainders will there be? There'll be 16 remainders to get from 114 over to 130. So we can put in 16 remainders there. But our question is already largely figured out. With this decimal answer that we've got, so that is telling us 7 out of 19 as a decimal. Now, I'll just quickly tell you that 7 19s will be 133. And that means there will be, we can still do another 19 on top of that, 152. So that's 8 19s. So this next number over here will be 8. So 719, we've got roughly 0.368. Now this means that's what the decimal is. And how do we convert decimal to percentage? We times by 100. And when we do that, we move the decimal place 2 across. 1, 2. So 36.8%. Which of our answers is most similar? Definitely the 37. We round up to the nearest number. That is our answer. Next, Ahmed had a box of 15 fruit sticks. It contained equal numbers of orange, strawberry, and apricot sticks. He picked a stick without looking. What was the chance the stick was either an apricot or strawberry? So again, we've got to look at how many total options there are and how many fulfill the criteria. There are 15 total fruit sticks. It says it right at the top. They are equal numbers of orange, strawberry, and apricot. So the number of orange, the number of strawberry, and the number of apricot, they're all the same number. And there's 3 different types, and we've got 15 fruit sticks. So we've got to do 15 divided by 3 to tell us how many of each flavour. 3 into 1 doesn't work. 3 into 15 is 5. No remainders, just 5. So that is telling us that there's 5 of orange. There is 5 of strawberry. Yes, berry I'm calling it. And there's 5 of apricot. And now what the question is asking is, what's the chance of either picking an apricot or a strawberry? So there's my strawberry and there's my apricot. So 5 plus 5 is 10. So there's a 10 out of 15 chance that I'll pick an apricot or a strawberry, and the remaining 5 out of 15 that it will be orange. Anyways, the question's asking about apricot or strawberry, so we've got 10 out of 15. We can simplify that, looking at what numbers are common. Any number that ends in 0 or 5 is divisible by 5, so we'll divide by 5. 10 divided by 5 is 2. 15 divided by 5 is 3. 2/3 is our answer. And last one of the trickier questions. A standard 6-sided die, it should be, is rolled once. What's the probability that the number on the top face, so the number it lands on, the one that we can see when we typically roll die, what is the probability that the number on top is a factor of 6? Well, we have to remember what are factors. So factors are one of two numbers, whole numbers, that multiply together will equal another number. So for example, the factors of 8, 1 times 8, 2 times 4. They are your factors of 8. As numbers get bigger, you can have a lot more factors. So let's say 36. You can have 1 times 36. You can have 2 times 18. You can have 3 times 12. You can have 4 times 9. You can also have the number 6. But then there's certain odd numbers that have next to no factors. These are called prime numbers if they can only be divided by 1 in themselves. But anyways, we're going to be looking at solely number 6. So just for the number 6, what numbers can be multiplied together to equal 6? Obviously 1 times 6. So there's 2 of my factors. And also 2 times 3. There's 2 more factors. This gives me 1, 2, 3, 4 different numbers. So out of the 6 different options that a die could end up on, 4 out of those 6 will end up being a factor of 6. So if it's a 4 in 6 chance of happening, we should be able to see that we can simplify this fraction by finding the number that is common to both of them. And any number that ends in 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8 is an even number, and therefore we know that we can divide by 2. So 4 divided by 2 equals 2, 6 divided by 2 equals 3. 2/3 is our answer. So there we go. That's how we work out the trickier questions. Hopefully that helped, and yeah, please leave comments below if you've got any more questions. Thank you so much for your time.